What is up, YouTube people? Eric here with Team Badman. I am back with yet another interview this time. If you guys have been following us on the channel recently, we've had a bunch of interviews with a bunch of guys. We had Dustin Morbido, the McBride brothers. We just had Mr. Waffles earlier this week. But I think this is possibly the biggest one that we have had yet. I am here with the man himself, the king of Raditz. I'm here with Tony Ortiz. How you doing, man?
Good, and yourself?
I can't complain. Things are going pretty well, and I'm actually super pumped for this interview because honestly, you're playing one of probably the most unique and readily identifiable decks for you, and that's of course Black Devious Raditz. Everyone knows you as the Raditz guy.
Yes, that's true.
That is so. Raditz has been around for a while. Raditz came out, of course, in Heroes and Villains and whatnot. Have you been playing Raditz like since the very beginning? Was it an idea that you had when you saw him?
No, actually, it was originally Godku, and then when I saw Raditz, I'm like, oh, Raditz is the poor man Godku. And then after a while, I saw Arvel have some good luck with that, and then I was like, I can make this probably take it a next step further than Arvel, which I did during set 3.
It became, a really big deal. It's that's actually a really good way to put it, kind of like the poor man's Godku. I don't know if I would call it the poor man because Rat's approached it so differently. He's got just absolutely amazing name cards, which I'm sure those are something that you really exploit in the deck. Dirty Tactics and Offensive Guard, which are fantastic name cards.
Yes, they are. I love using them.
You get? Do you still get? Feel you get more mileage now out of Dirty Tactics with all of the new subs that have been coming out? Sure, when Set 3 came out, you got Dominance, you got Relaxation, all of that. There have been more and more powerful setups. Roshi's Slumber is a really big one. Yamcha's Expert Assistance. Do you think you get enough mileage out of those?
I feel like I do get enough mileage, but the biggest thing I like about the card is I get to see your hand, so I know what's in your hand for the rest of that combat.
That's true, and that's really big in Black. So you get cards like Black Swirl and whatnot, so you can just snipe off targets or get rid of things with stare down or whatever you want to do.
That and defensive burst and energy web, lock them out of attacks.
Absolutely, big money, especially defensive burst right now. With Broly and 13 being a really big thing. But this past weekend, you were at the New York Regional up there. You made the top 4 round, which is absolutely huge because everyone was egging you on to play Raditz a little bit. How do you feel it kind of shaped up, especially with Vengeance just coming out in the past couple weeks?
Be honest, the deck surprised me too. I've learned that Black Capture is one of the best cards in the game still. That card. I've loved that card for how long now?
I would say you've played it in every iteration of the deck I've seen, and it wins you games. You just attach it, and if it's a deck that can't really get it off, like the Roshi that we mentioned, or if you block all their attacks, then it will win games very easily.
Very true. One game against one guy, I had it on him for 10 of his turns.
Wow, what?
So 10 of his turns and 10 of my turns. So that's negative 20 off your deck.
That's a third of the deck he's not getting back. That is absolutely ridiculous. So, we can talk shop about it all day, all we want. But what I really want to do is dig into the meat and potatoes of it, which is, of course, the deck itself. Would you mind going over the deck for the viewers and whatnot?
Sure. What do you want me to start off with?
You can start off absolutely anywhere you like. The big key cards if you want, or if you want to go, type by type, that's totally cool. You are in the driver's seat, my friend.
All right. You know what? I'll just go by type by type. My drills are very simple. 1 Black Spoonless drill. The end.
Of course, gotta have it. It's even at 1, it's still one of the best cards in the game.
It is, and with the Raditz, I can have up to a 5 to 6 card hand if I'm visiting 7 cards to your 3 to 4.
Oh yeah,
so, that's massive.
It will turn games. Just the advantage off of that 1, getting extra card every turn is really nice.
Yeah, I mean I totally agree with this being at limit 1 per deck. It was needed.
Most definitely.
Next we'll start off with the setups. So I got 2 Raditz Dirty Tactics. like we said earlier, this helps me get that hand knowledge information and get rid of some of the annoying cards in people's decks, like
Mhm.
Yamcha's Distance, Roshi's Slumber, Black Searching Technique, name it. If it's a setup or a
Mhm.
drill, I can get rid of it. The big thing that helped me get rid of is Orange Captivity Drill. I played a lot of Orange Yamcha, so I just kept removing their drills away.
It's not. That's a really good idea. Do you, in that matchup, did you ever consider the expert assistance over the drills, or was it just always in mind there to take care of those?
If they already had the drill out, then I didn't. I would go for the expert assistance. One person I played against, I evasioned and put the expert assistance back in his deck. Then Dirty Tactics to remove them all.
That's how you clean them out. That's how you do it.
Yeah. So that way I didn't plus him at all with the evasion. Next is Villainous Visage. Self-explanatory. That card is annoying as fuck. We got 2 VTPs, like I said again, a staple card.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Then my style setups are 3 Black Searching Techniques. Love picking your deck apart, knowing what you have in there, knowing what's your strategy, memorizing your entire deck after I look through it once or twice. That always helps me. A lot of people don't know this. I actually have a near photographic memory, so I can memorize your deck if I look at it twice.
That's absolutely ridiculous. And considering how much Raditz searches through the deck, you've got that early game, so you've got all the perfect targets already in mind. That's absolutely insane.
Yes. That was one of the biggest key factors I have with this deck, that I can do that. 2 black power-ups and 2 black declarations. Declaration is basically to help me remove off those annoying Android 16 and any other allies that are bothering me at the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you ever run 3 of in there? It seems to be a very common, 3 of card, especially with Devious Mastery to get it back into play.
I've thought about it. I just never found the room for it, and I like Tug of War better.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that. Good choice.
All right, so that's the end of my setups and drills. We're just gonna go with my blocks next, if you don't mind.
Okay, go for it.
I use 3 black finger blocks, just so if I'm getting humbled into the ground, I can take a whole bunch of stages, and then finally when you're going to go for the big attack, I'll block it and gain 3 stages. Continue staying in this game for a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
And then new recently, I actually never liked this card until recently, Black Delay.
Oh, yeah.
So many built-in physical attacks and powers right now. It's just, you need to run it.
You almost need to, especially with, how the errata got worded, and even if they throw a power, they're losing extra card from their hand if it's not considered styled, which I don't think there's an MP's power that's a physical attack that is, so again, that's automatic hand advantage on your end.
Exactly, and I love that. Especially with this deck. Keeping that hand advantage, blocking your attack and minusing you 1, that's great for me. So that's the end of my physical blocks. I only use 5. Energy blocks, 3 black swipes. Basic energy block helps me get rid of some of the stuff that's annoying in your discard pile. Next is one of my favorite cards in the deck is Black Evasion. I only use 2 of them.
That's about all you need to. You get some of those cards back, like you mentioned earlier with Dirty Text. You can target them out. It helps you get stuff back into the deck, which Black doesn't have a whole lot of discard power recursions. That's super useful.
Right, but being Raditz and using Evasion, I got to Time as a Warrior's Tool somebody 5 times.
Oh.
He actually quit in the middle of the match. He just literally says, "You know what? I don't want to play anymore. I'm done." I'm
wow.
I'm sorry, man.
Wow, that's insane.
I felt bad for him. I was like, nothing I can do about it. 2 black corruptions. A lot of anger decks. A lot of people forget black corruption actually lowers people's anger.
Yeah, because it's usually like, I'm just going to discard this, make you banish. But it's still a really good block.
It is. It's still actually a really good block, lowering their anger too. But of course, I still do like to use it for the mastery part where I can banish the top 2 of their life deck.
Yeah,
Helps all the time.
naturally.
And of course, time is a warrior's tool.
Gotta have it.
Gotta have it, especially with this deck.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go with some of the events. Some of the stuff that people have been wondering about and questioning me about. I used instant transmission.
Really? Ooh.
I did use it. I never played it one game. I would never draw. I didn't draw it, or if I drew it, I would draw like a hand where it'd be completely dead. I drew it one time. I'm like, man, this would be so good if I wasn't under red restriction.
Oh no. Oh, that sucks.
So I don't know if I'm going to keep it or cut it. I've been thinking about cutting it for a while.
Unless it tests well, then it may not be a bad idea. But ultimately, it's how it plays out in the future.
Exactly. So I'm going to still test some more ideas out with that. My traditional 2 stare downs. I do not like running 3 of that card. It's a good card, but I feel like overrunning your events can get you hit hard against sand. Getting hit by that sand domination just kills you.
Very true, very true.
Especially with this deck. You know how fragile it is sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Next is 1 Tug of War. Helps me get rid of that Napa in 16.
That's what you want to do, because with Raditz, you use those setups so much that Napa, if you can't get rid of him, he will just stop you really hard.
He will. 16 actually hurts me a lot too, though. It's very surprising because I do a lot of wimpy damage, but it adds up in the middle of the match. You're just like, where did my deck go?
That's true, and since he cuts that off, basically he just ruins Raditz's level 1 power just outright.
Exactly.
Especially since you didn't mention that you were running upward dodge or anything, so it's hard to buff that damage. So getting him off the field, I can see where that actually be really worthwhile.
Yeah, that's one of the big problems I had. So I was like, all right, Tug of War 16 or Napa. Normally I would go Tug of War Napa, then choke off 16.
Not a bad idea.
Next is 2 Villainous Energy Spheres. 1 Black Scout Maneuver signed by Raditz.
Just one?
Just 1.
Interesting. Usually IC decks, run 2 just so they've got, something that they can try and do early game, and then maybe in the mid game when they know what's in there. Is there a reason behind just 1, or is it a space thing? Because I know a lot of decks have trouble with that.
I feel that in this meta, running 2 or 3, it would help, but it's also a dead card if they, like I said, that domination or some other things happen. You would rather have something else.
Very true.
And like I said, I knew Sam Broly was going to be coming out in force in this tournament. What we had, 50 Brolys or 50 Sand decks over there?
It was something like it was an insane amount. Insane, I guess?
Yeah. So that, I was just like, yeah, I'm not dealing with that. The next one is Black Invitation. That card is stupid.
That's such a good card. Oh, man.
I can't tell you how many times I just go Invitation, Defensive Burst. Or Invitation, Energy Web. Okay, you didn't want to do anything, did you?
Nah, it's all good. Invitation, Capture. Okay, that's easy.
Even that too. But the fact that it had 3 Endurance, that really adds up in this deck.
It does. It feels like almost a direct replacement most decks over Black Foreshadowing, depending on what you do.
Very true, but not for this one. Black Foreshadowing against Matthew Coombs. I felt bad for the poor gentleman. I kept drawing those foreshadowings, hitting him for 5 or 6 each hit. I was just like, I'm sorry, man. And he would be locked under a Defensive Burst at the moment, too. And I'm just like, this poor man.
Oh, man. That's brutal.
I felt bad for him in the top 16 because I drew. If I needed to draw that card, I drew it. That's how that game went.
That's awesome. There we go.
Next is 3 black foreshadowings.
Yeah, they are.
You know how good that card is.
Exactly. Endurance 3, mill them off, gain some extra stages. That's so big right now with, as you mentioned, there's a ton of Broly around, lots of physical stuff. So, you want to have all those stages.
Exactly.
Oh.
Those stages, and Cooler's not helping. Or not Cooler, 13.
No, 13's not helping one bit.
Yeah. He just like, hey, we're going to knock you down. Hey, we're going to enter, and then we're going to knock you down some more.
Exactly.
All right, now we're going to go to my attacks.
Let's do it.
We're going to go with the traditional 2 wall breakers. Like throwing my wall breakers at people.
Gotta have it. It's like Black's only anger hate, it feels like. 'Cause that's the one thing it's not really good at. But, wall breaker's just so good. It's like, yeah, it's worth it.
It is. The next, one of the new cards I added in was 2 Android arm breakers.
Love that card.
That card is really good. David Meckler actually convinced me to play it like the night before. He's like, you have no big stage damage cards, and you can stage lock like Adepta Yamcha or knock Roshi out stages, so you can just keep doing extra life cards. So I added it in, and I thought about it later on. It's really good for like Unleash decks.
Oh yeah.
It slows them down. I like that. 3 chokes.
Absolutely worthwhile. The unpreventable damage. It kills the board state decks. So for what you can't banish, you let them get out. Oh, okay, I'll just choke you. Everything's banished. More fuel for foreshadowing.
Exactly. 3 playful punches. I can use it as attack or a block, and it lowers their anger and it gains me stages. Which, like I said earlier, gaining stages is clutch.
Super worthwhile.
And the tradition. What else we got? 3 Raditz offensive guards. Basically, Raditz offensive guard is everything Black needed.
Oh yeah, extra block, extra way to attach. Place those setups and drills in play.
Exactly.
So nice.
I was like, this is the one thing that Black needs more than anything: an Omni block or a card saying, "Hey, you need to play this now." And then 3 Black defensive bursts.
Staple for Black, gotta have it, especially nowadays. I'm sure we can just talk about, physically aggressive decks just for hours, especially right now.
Oh God, yes. Becky here we updated his Ginyu deck, and yeah, that card does work against him. He kills me for that.
Nice.
Now my energy attacks, only 5 cards left. I got 3 Black energy webs. Like I said earlier, great thing against Yamcha, Krillin, those heavy energy decks, slows them down to snail's pace.
Yeah.
And my final 2 cards in the deck is my favorite card, Black Hatcher.
Great choice. No Black Swirl in there? Interesting.
Nope.
Very interesting. You'd think you would end up running them with, how much hand insight you get with, dirty tactics and with your stare downs. Well, what made you not run it?
I don't have the foil. One of the few Black cards I don't have foil, but all seriousness, I try to stay away from energy attacks as much as I can with this deck, because I knew what kind of meta I was walking into. Sort of.
Fair enough. Not all a bad idea. So it's very cohesive looking deck. I mean, you've refined it over many sets. It's made an absolutely huge splash. You made dual top 4s this season, and especially since Vengeance came out. I've seen you've already made a couple of changes to it in there, including the invitations and whatnot. Are there any other changes after New York that you think you would make to the deck or that you would recommend to people?
Black Chin Kick, and more tug of wars, I think.
I think the tug of war is going to be worthwhile now, especially with with Tim Batow being super big on basically kind of indirectly pushing people to play ally decks and the Gohans and whatnot.
Yes, I feel like this is going to be the time to start running a lot more ally hate. Like Namekians should start using Namekian gut punches and tug of wars and all that fun stuff too. I feel like allies are going to be a really big thing this season.
Totally worthwhile. Very nice. So, of course, we've already discussed New York Regional. What do you think were your best matchups there? How do you think you fared against some of the, really big expected stuff?
To be perfectly honest, I did not face one Broly the entire weekend.
Really?
I don't know how I did that. I dodged around every Broly the entire day.
Wow. That's nuts, especially considering how much of the field was just big angry smash things.
Yes. So that kind of threw me off because I was like, man, I play test against one of my buddies' Broly deck, and it was like a 70-30 matchup. 70 in my favor. So I was like, all right, I should be okay. But I didn't face any Broly's at the regional, so I was a little shocked about that. The next thing is 13. If he gets running too fast, man, I have a hard time playing catch-up.
You think it's that level 3 that really hurts you the most?
No, actually, it was more of him having his Android buddies come out. 14, 15, 20, and 16. That extra stage damage, the extra unpreventable, and the -2 life cards, like I said earlier, it really adds up and hurts me.
I can definitely see that, which is all the more reason to include the tug of war.
Exactly. Next, the easier matches I had of the day was the Yamcha deck. I understood how to play against it because of David Meckler, so I knew exactly what to hit, what to get out of, what to remove, all that good stuff.
Perfect. All you could ask for.
The luckiest matchup I had of the day was the cooler. I had an orange cooler deck I played against, and I opened up so stupid. I got a black capture, wall breaker, and a black scout maneuver on him, all within the first combat.
Wow.
I was just like, wow, this is not your match. And after like 20 turns of black capture, I kind of spaced out in the middle of the match, and I apologized to him. I was like, I wonder what I'm going to do after this.
Just like, this is autopilot.
I felt bad. I really did feel bad doing that to him. I was like, I apologize. I just was like, I can't believe I just hit him for 20 turns with this card.
That'll ruin any deck. Even since even though Cooler can rejuvenate from the banish zone when he's stuck like that. Oops. I mean, I guess just try and apologize to your opponent and tell him it's nothing personal, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, close enough.
He didn't take any offense to it, so that was good.
Oh, pens flying everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Oh, your camera moved a little bit.
Oh, crap.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Excellent. So, you have been making, super huge waves with Raditz and whatnot. Everyone was super excited to see it come back. Do you think you're going to continue playing Raditz throughout the rest of the regional season, or you think you might switch it up to, maybe a 13 or a Cooler or something else that'll be equally interesting?
I'm definitely going to say I will be playing 13 at maybe the next event, maybe not, I don't know. 13 is my favorite movie villain.
Yes, same here, so nice.
And then Team's 4-star made him even better too.
Get your trucker hats, boys!
the fact that Panini called him Redneck Robot, I was just like, yep, I have to play this.
Best level name in the whole game. Props to you, Panini. Slow clap.
Actually, I would have played 13 at this last event, but everybody wanted Raditz back, so I was like, all right, I'll give everybody what they want.
There you go, and it, like we said, made absolutely huge splash. But of course, I imagine Rat's still going to be around in one form or another. Always just something there to play.
Yes, the deck is always around with me somewhere.
Completely worthwhile. So, just a couple more questions for you, really quick. One, you've been hitting up quite a few regionals, and you were known last season for being one of the guys who hit that, as we know now, the super elite list, and you accumulated enough points over the season to get some of those super sweet Worlds promos, which do look fantastic in person. Do you have plans to kind of do the same this season? Hit up a bunch of regionals and whatnot, or is it going to be a time related thing?
Really, it depends on how everything continues going with my personal life and stuff. You know about that.
Yeah. Let's leave that out for the viewers at home. It's a.
But as of right now, for sure, where I'll be going to will be ARG, Philadelphia.
Sweet.
Gen Con. Las Vegas Regional.
Ooh, that's a trip.
That's actually gonna be my family trip. I'm just gonna ditch on them.
Shh, don't tell them that though.
Kentucky and Kansas. Those are. I am confirming that I will be at those.
Awesome. So you guys who are watching this, you see it here. You will be hopefully guaranteed to see Tony here, Tony at all of them. I'm definitely excited for you to come out to Gen Con. I've got so many people coming out who are like, hey, I'm coming out. We should meet up and whatnot. So it's gonna be super awesome. And last question, which is one that you didn't mention. Virginia Regional is on Saturday, and I asked Mr. Waffles the same thing earlier this week. Just a guess on your end. What do you think is going to take Virginia this weekend?
To be perfectly honest, I would like to see a Broly to take it.
Oh, okay. Like I feel like for all the hype that was around Broly, he kind of slightly underperformed this past weekend. New York had, what was it? I think like two in Top Cut, something like that.
Yeah.
It was 2-3. And of course, there was one that did make it down in Texas, but it seemed like it was a little bit lackluster in the Broly appearance compared to all the hype that was around, especially when 16 basically doubled the numbers in every other regional.
Yeah. I feel like everybody that made the Broly deck probably didn't do it right.
That's been a really big question that people have been discussing is, are they building it right? And a lot of people think that they're not. So what do you have an idea of, if you were to build a Broly deck, how do you think you would do it?
Something that I know for sure I want in there is Sand Menace. I would at least have 2 or 3 copies in there.
So good.
I don't know. I didn't see it, but I did see some Broly decks run it. Sand Tantrum. Mm-hmm. Just to use that Menace. You could set up for a Menace loop. You could set up just getting cards back in there. Which I love card. Using that kind of tricks and tactics. Because even Sand Tantrum triggers with Broly so well.
It really does. It's like, oh, okay, I'll just reveal it from my hand every turn, use a critical damage effect. That's fantastic right there. It's 2 extra endurance, 2 for 6. If you hit and you've got all your messes on top, they just come right back into play. So it just keeps the whole gravy train rolling.
Exactly. And then you get 3 cards back. There is no minusing from if it goes off.
Yeah, it's one of the cards that Saiyan really needed. It's so good.
It is.
Definitely. You look like you're a little tired over there.
I had work this morning. I've been busy talking and traveling the world today. I've traveled at least like 100+ miles today, just in Chicago.
On that Pokemon Go grind?
No, actually, I had to go pick up some boxes that we were supposed to get from our local game store. They just finally got it in for us.
Oh wow, wow, nice. You'll have some stuff to open and sort through. That'll be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Plus work. That's always fun.
Yeah, everyone's favorite work. Yeah.
Oh, but everybody doesn't have to deal with a cranky old man every day. Literally, that is what I have to deal with every day.
I'm sure some people might feel that way about their boss or about whatever, but it's been it's you seem to be doing really well despite Raditz was a huge deal this weekend. It's really been looking good in the community with that, and I know I, at least for one, am definitely pumped to see any time that you hit up a regional, and there's always going to be that "Let's go Tony" that's always going to be around here. A bunch of people are going to be super hyped about it.
Exactly, and I love it. I get people messaging me like, "Congratulations! I can't believe you did it again with Raditz." I was like, "Nor do I, to be honest." Like I said, David Beckler was a huge help with this deck. I gotta say, because he helped play test with me for New York. We started play testing at 2:30 in the morning. We finished about 4 in the morning, and that's when I finally was like, you know what, this might be my deck to run.
Even if you didn't run it, you've got that image with it. So forever be. Someone says Black Devious Raditz, and they'll think Tony Ortiz.
Yes, which is really funny too, because Kelly Dennis has done it too.
Yeah.
And I just overshadow him completely at times, and I feel bad for the guy as well.
Oh man, yeah. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for joining for this interview, Tony. I know I definitely appreciate it, and I hope the viewers appreciate it as well. So it was super awesome. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me back on here.
Hey, no problem at all. So that's going to do it for this interview. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked it, be sure to hit the like button down below. If not, click the dislike button down below and let us know what you didn't like, so that way we can change it for future interviews. We're going to have some coming up the next few weeks here, so be sure to keep an eye out for all of those. Also, if you haven't already, click the subscribe button down below so that you can follow, this series and all the other series we got going on. Tons of stuff coming out, especially throughout the regional season. So there's going to be a lot to look forward to. And lastly, if you guys haven't already, be sure to hit all of our social media links down below. You guys can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and soon to be Libsyn, which for those guys who don't know, Libsyn is a podcast hosting website. So we'll be doing a podcast here really soon. I'm, working on editing all that together. So, I'm going to be sure to get that out, and you guys will know when that's coming around. But that's going to do it. So thanks again one more time to Tony for joining me for an interview. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on again. I appreciate that too.
And no problem at all. So that's going to do it for this video. I'm Eric with Team Badman signing out. So thanks for watching. And like always, stay bad. We'll see you guys in the next video. Catch you later.
Later.